Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile found...
The Boobrie is a shape-shifting bird from the mythology and folklore of the Scottish Highlands. Rather than using its wings to fly, it more commonly uses them to swim through the lakes and wells where it hunts. Well known as a mimic, the Boobrie will often imitate the cries of an injured baby animal, grabbing and drowning any adult animal curious enough to come close and investigate. The creature prefers cattle and sheep, but will also eat others if needed. The Boobrie also has the ability to shapeshift into a horse and walk on water in this form, and it can also turn into an insect to suck out the blood from horses. There are stories of hunters who have sworn that they have seen a water horse, another mythical creature of Scottish folklore, but upon closer inspection of the tracks left behind, they see the distinctive antler-shaped tracks unique to the Boobrie. According to eyewitnesses, the Boobrie has a long white neck, wide wingspan, long beak, short legs, massive partially webbed feet, and a cry that sounds like a bull. The Boobrie is generally malevolent and has the ability to materialize in the form of various mythical creatures. It commonly preys on animals being transported on ships, preferably calves, but will also happily eat lambs and sheep, carrying its prey away to the deepest water before consuming it. It is also extremely fond of otters, which it consumes in large quantities. Its favorite manifestation is of a bird resembling a gigantic great northern diver, a cormorant, but with white markings. According to the folklorist Campbell of Islay, it is larger than 17 of the biggest eagles put together. An imprint of a Boobrie's foot left in some lakeside mud equaled the span of a large, wide-spreading pair of red deer's horns. It bellows loudly, sounding more like a raging demon than a bird. Although sea lochs are the Boobrie's natural home, they will shelter on land in overgrown heather. As stated before, the creature can also manifest as a water horse. In this form, it is able to gallop across the surface of lochs, the beating noise of the creature's hooves on the water the same as if it were galloping on solid ground. One story told of a Boobrie in this form is that of a farmer and his son who were plowing a field on the Isle of Mull using a team of 4 horses beside Loch Freesa. But one of the horses lost a shoe and was unable to continue. Noticing a horse grazing nearby, they decided to try using it as a replacement. They harnessed the horse to the wooden plow and it initially worked steadily. However, when they reached an area close to the loch, it became restless, and the farmer gently used a whip to encourage the animal to continue. It reacted by immediately transforming into a gigantic Boobrie, giving out a loud bellow and diving into the loch, pulling the plow and the other 3 horses with it. The frightened farmer and his son watched as the creature swam to the center of the loch, then dived underwater, taking the other horses and plow. 7 hours later, there was still no sign of the 3 horses. Yet another manifestation is that of a bull. Campbell of Islay recorded a story of a man named Eachin, who discovered a colossal black bull writhing in pain and possibly close to death at the side of Loch Nandobrin on the west coast of Argyll. Some months later, Femi, Eachin's girlfriend, was occasionally disturbed by elusive shadows she sensed on the loch, which made her think of Murdoch, her former lover. One evening, while staying in a small dwelling near the loch, she sat dreaming of Eachin when she sensed the flicker of a shadow behind her. It was Murdoch, who promptly overpowered her by enveloping her in a blanket and tying her hands. At that moment, a water bull came to Femi's rescue by knocking Murdoch to the ground. The bull then knelt down, allowing Femi to get on its back before transporting her at the speed of light back to the home of her mother. The bull disappeared, never to be seen again, but a voice was heard in the air calling out loudly. I was assisted by a young man, and I aided a maid in distress. Then after 300 years of bondage, relieve me quickly. The Boobrie can also, albeit infrequently, manifest in the form of a large insect that sucks the blood of horses, usually only at the height of summer, during August and September. Just when you thought things couldn't possibly get any stranger. Thank you for listening to the Shadowland radio show. If you're listening on the Blackwater Media YouTube channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. You can also listen at blackwatermedia.net and the Blackwater Media Facebook page. I'm Dr. William Lester, and I promise to see each and every one of you again on the flip side.